Okay, we're back again. I'm Order Storm 331. We just finished the Barrett guide. Now we're going straight into the Tifa Lockhart guide, everyone's favorite monk from Final Fantasy VII. And Tifa is kind of a different story when it comes to, if you compare her against most of the monks. She is a pretty good fighter overall in this game. Of course, there's other monks in the series like Cell, Sabin, Young, just to name a few. They're just as good as she is, but fans definitely love this bar mistress from the Seventh Heaven. So we're going to be covering her next. So Tifa is kind of a very interesting case that her really only notable stat where she excels is luck, but she's a four-way tie for that because she has 30 in luck. Against compared against the other party members, she ranks sixth on HP with 8769, 817, which is ranked fifth. She has the third highest strength in the entire game with 95, dexterity at third, 84 that brings her fifth in vitality, seventh in 120 on magic, and fourth on spirit for with a number of 94. So basically, she has some strong areas. Mostly her luck, strength, and dexterity, and even her spirit are her best points. But she kind of falls off a little bit when it comes to vitality and HP. Now, normally most monks usually have very high strength and vitality and HP to match up their roles as monks. But unfortunately, she gets outclassed pretty easily from the likes of Barrett Cloud, Red 13, and Sid. But as a fighter, she's actually a pretty dang good one. And if you watch speedruns for Final Fantasy VII, you'll definitely know that she's pretty much broken. Part of that is actually thanks to some of her weapons. Hand or I mean, Master Hand and God Hand or God Hand as it's called allows her to basically guarantee a guaranteed hit for the most part, giving her 100% accuracy for the most part. This, along with Vincent's sniper rifle, actually assures that she can actually make full use of the Death Blow Moniera. Of course, Power Soul, which is one of her double growth weapons and one of the two that she gets in the entire game along with Yuffie, also allows her to take advantage of status ailments. There's also another weapon that actually does that actually boosts her attack power when she suffers any status ailments. In Tifa's case with Power Soul, she gets access to more damage when she gets inflicted with near death or inflicted with death sentence. So basically, all they have to do is use death sentence on Tifa, and they go when she has the Power Soul equipped, and she goes directly into town, dealing very high damage. Tifa's actually one of the better characters to have access to the Master Command Montiera, and that's because a good chunk of those command Monteros give her the ability to attack enemies like Steel when it becomes Mug. She can also get access to Double Cut, All Slash, and various command Montieros that allows her to attack enemies directly. So combine this with Power Soul and anything that allows her to benefit from being afflicted with status ailments, she'll be able to hit for way higher damage than most of the party members. So she actually becomes a very high damage dealer pretty early on until most of the party members get access to their best weapons. Premium Heart is probably the second lowest ultimate weapons, but it's way better than Vincent's death penalty, that is for sure. So she needs to have a very high limit break meter to take full advantage of Premium Heart's damage capabilities. So along with Barrett and Sid, she's also a very good candidate for the cover and counterattack Montieras. So this allows her to basically retaliate and deal very high damage. So unlike most of the party members, Tifa has a very unique limit breaks. When you activate her limit break, she uses a slot reel, and basically whenever you hit, you'll deal normal damage. But anytime you hit Yaz, those attacks become critical hits. But as you start getting more limit breaks added to Tifa, not only do you have more slot reels to activate, but you also have option of not triggering those limit breaks if they hit miss. So you have to be very careful to when using Tifa's limit breaks so that if you want to hit all 8 of her attacks, you need to be prioritizing hits and focus less on hidden criticals. But if you want to maximize her damage, she definitely wants She wants to hit those yes every time that you want to hit crits. But technically, I've just focused just hitting on those hits instead. So anyway, we're going to be covering level 1 limit breaks, which is the first one she gets. And let me get to my notes on her limit breaks real quick. Yeah, I did my research on them. Oops. Skip one page. Open. Alright, there we go. So anyway, her first limit break is Beat Rush. This deals 1/4 times normal damage to one enemy. This basically lets her do a 3-hit punch combo on one target. It's not the best in the entire world, but all of her limit breaks begin with this one. So she'll randomly attack one enemy when she starts off with this, and this applies to every enemy that's on screen. But technically, as mentioned before, anytime you're fighting against one enemy, any limit break that attacks multiple enemies actually deal way more damage on a single target. Somersault is her next limit break. This you'll have to use Beat Rush 9 times before you get access to this. This deals 1 1/38 times normal damage to one enemy. Nothing to be said about somersault, but other than that, she does a somersault kick on an enemy after you get this move. So this actually allows her to deal more damage to one enemy or deal another to any random enemies. Water Kick is her next limit break. You'll get this after defeating 96 enemies. This deals 1 1/2 times normal damage to one enemy. Now, despite the name, this does not deal water damage. But this is her third chain of her limit breaks, so you'll make full use of it once you get access to this. Meteor Drive is her next one. She basically does Brainbuster on an enemy, or suplex, whatever you want to call it. So basically, when you use Water Kick 7 times, you'll get access to this limit break. This deals 1 5/8 times normal damage to one enemy. Aside from Meteor Strike and Final Heaven, this is probably the strongest limit break in terms of damage once you get access to it. But once she gets access to Meteor Strike and Final Heaven, this gets outpaced pretty easily. Level 3 limit breaks cover Dolphin Blow. You'll get this after defeating 96 enemies, after getting Water Kick. This deals 1 3/4 times normal damage to one enemy. So, despite the name, this does not deal water damage, unfortunately, but it's still a pretty cool move in general, and this will be your go-to chain. If you can get up to 5 hits, this will be your ender for the most part. Meteor Strike is probably her second highest limit break in terms of damage. You'll get this after using Dolphin Blow 6 times. This deals 1 7/8 times normal damage to one enemy. This basically allows her to pick up one enemy, twirl them, then jumping up in the air and throw them to the ground. So it's actually way stronger than Sabin's. Well, I would like to say it's way stronger than Sabin's Meteor Strike because of the fact that it's nerfed due to the fact he has to do this on one target. And if he does it on when there's multiple enemies, it won't deal as much damage. But technically, unlike Tifa, Sabin can suplex trains with his Meteor Strike, whereas unfortunately Tifa can't do that in Final Fantasy VII, unfortunately. Sorry, Tifa. Final Heaven is her final limit break. You'll get this when you play Tifa's piano, if you played the High Wind tune. If you memorize that, you can play this again after Cloud rejoins your party after the events in Middle, and you'll find a letter along with this limit break, and you'll get this last one. You also need to make sure you played the. I think you might need to play the piano during Cloud's flashback as well. I'm not positive, but once you do, you'll get this as her final limit break. She'll do a charged up punch as her ender, and this deals 2 5/8 times normal damage to one enemy. So again, all of her limit breaks deal way more damage if you do it on a single opponent or boss. So once you get access to this, this will probably be her strongest limit break, in addition to all the damage pile up from it as well, from the other ones. So that basically covers Tifa's limit breaks and her stats. So basically, once you get those weapons, God Hand, Master Hand, and Power Soul, Tifa becomes a very powerful party member, and you definitely want to take full advantage of nailing her with death sentence and get her to near death or death status to make her get her more stronger in turn. Well, I mean near death status. My apologies. But anyway, I'm going to take a small break and then switch my party members around so we can get ready to cover Red 13 and Yuffie next. So I will be right back.